This lesson is on solving equations with variables on both sides. First, we're looking at solving an equation with variables on both sides. So for number 1, we have negative 3x equals 2x plus 20. We need to combine our x's. So we need to subtract 2x from the right-hand side. That way we can eliminate it on the right-hand side. And if we do it on the right-hand side, we also have to do it on the left-hand side. So we'll have minus 2x on the left-hand side. 2x minus 2x is 0, so that's how we eliminate it on the right-hand side. And negative 3x minus 2x would be negative 3x plus negative 2x, which is negative 5x. And that would then be equal to 20. Now we need to get x by itself, so we can do that by dividing by negative 5. We need to do that on both sides. And negative 5 divided by negative 5 is 1, so we just have 1x or x. And 20 divided by negative 5 is negative 4. So x equals negative 4. For number 2, we have 15 minus 2x equals negative 7x. We need to take this minus 2x, or we can think of it as negative 2x, and we need to eliminate it on the left-hand side. So in order to do that, we're going to add 2x. We'll also add 2x to the right-hand side as well. Now, negative 2x plus 2x is 0. So on the left-hand side, we just have 15. And that would be equal to negative 7x plus 2x. And negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. So we have negative 5x. Now in order to get x by itself, we would need to divide by negative 5. We would divide both sides by negative 5, so our equation is balanced. And 15 divided by negative 5 is negative 3. And negative 5 divided by negative 5 is 1, so 1x or just x. So negative 3 equals x, which you could also say that is x equals negative 3. Now we're going to solve an equation using the distributive property. So for number 3, we have 6 times the quantity 4 minus z equals 2z. So our first step is to use the distributive property. We would need to multiply 6 times 4, and 6 times 4 is 24. And then we have minus 6 times z, which is 6z. And that would be equal to 2z. Now we can go ahead and take this minus 6z, and we can add 6z to both sides. That way we can combine our z's on the right-hand side. So minus 6z, which we can also say is negative 6z, plus 6z is 0. So on the left-hand side, we just have 24. And on the right-hand side, 2z plus 6z is 8z. And now we would need to divide both sides by 8 so we can get z by itself. And 24 divided by 8 is 3. So 3 equals z. 8 divided by 8 is 1, so that's how we just get z on the right-hand side. Remember, you can also say that this is z equals 3. And now for number 4, we have negative 2 times the quantity x minus 5. And that's equal to 6 times the quantity 2 minus 1/2 x. So we actually have to do a distributive property in 2 different places in this problem. So we'll first work on the left-hand side. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And then we have minus, and negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. And then that would be equal to, we have 6 times 2, which is 12. And then we have minus, and 6 times 1/2 x would be 3x, because 6 times 1/2 is 3, because we'd have 6 halves, and that's 3, and then we have our x, so 3x. Now you can see that on the left-hand side we have minus a negative, and when we subtract a negative, we could change that to plus a positive. So we actually have negative 2x plus 10 equals 12 minus 3x. Now we need to have our x's on one side and then our numbers on the other side. So we have two different choices. We can either add 2x to both sides, so we move our x to the right-hand side, or we could add 3x to both sides, which would have us moving our x to the left-hand side. So I'm going to go ahead and add 3x to both sides. And on the left-hand side, negative 2x plus 3x would be 1x, or just x. And I still have plus 10. I have not done anything with that yet. And that would be equal to 12, and then minus 3x plus 3x is 0. So this part will be eliminated. It goes away. So now we have x plus 10 equals 12. In order to solve this, we would need to subtract 10 from each side. And on the left-hand side, we have x, and then plus 10 minus 10 is 0, so that part is eliminated. It goes away. And that equals 12 minus 10, which is 2. So x equals 2.